Hello, good morning to everyone, or good afternoon. I hope you are doing fine, as well as your relatives and loved ones. Today, we are going to present a solution to a global challenge that has to do with pollution. A clue of what it is about is make every mile count. Let's see if you can imagine what will it be. So, first, I want to start with some hard data to get into context. Did you know that all of the homes in Mexico, 56.4%, do not separate waste? This is because of four reasons. The first is that they think that the people who collect their waste mixes it inside the truck. The second, it's because they don't know how to separate them. The third, because they don't know the importance of separating the waste. And the last one is that they don't really care or they think that it involves a lot of effort. All these attitudes and ways of thinking results in a major problem. The serious problem that this causes is that plastic pollution is generated due to the mismanagement of waste that ends up in places that are difficult to access. Another important point that I want to highlight is that the collection rate of PET in Mexico is 56%. So it leaves 44% of this material in the environment. Analyzing all this information is how we came up with a possible solution.
Okay, continuing with what my partner just explained to you, we believe a possible solution can be this app, the Bottle Hunter. Imagine that this app can be something like Pokemon Go, but about recycling. Instead of catching Pokemons, you catch bottles and using augmented reality. This way, you can help the environment while playing, and at the same time, you create a recycling habit on people. For this game, we have two profiles or specific roles, the inspector and the bottle hunter. The inspector will have a passive role. They just watch and report using some videos or picture to help the bottle hunter to find some bottles to catch. And at the same time, the inspector can share some collection points nearby. On the other hand, we have the bottle hunter. The bottle hunter has a specific active role to get into action to search and collect as many bottles as they can on their daily route. And also, the bottle hunter can share and inspire others with the labor they do. Next, please. Now, with the development and launching of this app can help us to generate big data about the user to improve our collection strategy and increase the recovering percentage of PET bottles in Mexico, generating social, environmental, economic, and reputational value for the company.
Okay, the most important competitive advantage of Bottle Hunter is that it's the first app in the world that involves to the consumer directly to have a sustainable lifestyle using technology to add everyday actions to take care of the planet and not only learn more about environmental education. Also, we use a system of rewards that inspire to the consumer to not leave these actions and become them in a habit, creating a big community of leaders in sustainability and with collaborating with another organizations. Next, please. And we have doing a research and analysis about the project. So we are in the first stage, and then we need to do a hard work to achieve our goals to 2022, to turn our app into a benchmark, working directly with the SDGs, quality education, and responsible consumption and production to 2022. So the next, please. This is an example about our impact using technology and innovation instead of create a face-to-face place. I mean, in Mexico, we have a museum with a high investment, but with a low impact because it is situated in a specific place, so we can reach a lot of people. But with Bottle Hunter, we can do an impact not only in Mexico, also around the world. Next, please. And finally, this is our team, and we are sure about doing a positive change with Bottle Hunter. And well, thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for the presentation. And now we'll hear from the judges with some feedback. And Simon, can I ask you to kick things off for us this time?
Yeah, thanks, team. My youngest son, Joe, is an avid Pokemon Go player, so I loved seeing this one. I think he would love this solution. I loved your data at the beginning, the super clear problem statement. That was really compelling. I got it instantly. I was like, okay, I get where these guys are coming from. And actually, I'm interested because that waste separation is a common myth. I used to live in Sweden. I live in the Netherlands now. And in Sweden, I think the recycling rates are like 98%, because it's ingrained in the behavior. So that kind of behavioral change thing is big. It's also hard, but I think the way you describe it, it's such a creative solution, but also like a kind of cognitively right one in that you're looking at things like community and rewards. And so I think it looks really cool. My main question was two things, because in Sweden, one of the things that makes recycling successful is also the incentives. So you can actually take your bottle back and you get money back for it. So you mentioned rewards in the app. Is that something that you're going to do in game, or is it something you could maybe advocate for at more of a municipal level, because ultimately I think that's what drives the behavioral change quite hard, is the financial incentives for people to bring back stuff. So that was a question I had.
Sure. It is a great question. Everybody always wants some reward of doing things. So the rewards that we have like contemplated in maybe in a little bit future, because this app, we plan it to be like from stages. So one of the rewards is not just like maybe we give you money or something like that, but the reward is maybe coupons with other organizations that we have alliances. So it's basically that. So they, I don't know, maybe a coupon to go to the movies, 2 for 1 or something like that. And those are the rewards that we are thinking.
Great idea.
Great, thank you. Okay, Mary, can I ask you to jump in with some feedback?
Sure, I think mine are just comments. I had a very clear definition of what the problem was and what the solution was. So I think that came out very clearly on the user needs and the insights as well. So great work there on effective communication of what you are working on.
Thank you.
Great, excellent. And then Helen?
Sure, yeah, looks like lots of fun. I apologize, there's a little glitch for me, so I'm not sure if maybe you did include it in your presentation, but one of my questions, and I went and Googled you, which is like, who's PetStar, sorry. Like I wasn't sure of the connection between your company and this particular initiative and what you were hoping to solve. So I understand what you're solving for Mexico, broadly speaking, around the materials that are not recycled. But I think you are also the largest recycler of pet materials in Mexico, and you also have this kind of interesting history connecting back to Coca-Cola and the other bottling plants. So I feel like there's a sustainability element to your establishment from the beginning, and I think tying that in making that, and if I missed it, I apologize, but I feel like you could probably bring that in a little bit more firmly, and I think also because of your size, there may be elements of public policy and policy change that might be nice layers to add onto this work. So while you're encouraging citizens to get more involved and to contribute to solving this problem, and hopefully the bottles end up at your recycling plants that are collected, but also are there any policy or other kind of changes that can be driven at that level that can also combat this problem, and you could probably have a voice at that table if you don't already have it.
Sure, thank you. I don't know if one of my teammates wants to say something about that. No.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, it's great feedback, and just take that feedback under advisement as you think about how to move forward with your project. There are also a couple of comments in the chat that I'll just read to you, and then you can use them to the extent that they're helpful to you. One asks about if you're partnering with NGOs, and if so, how you could do that effectively. And then another asks, this is more of a technical question, in the app, are you using some kind of geo data to track in a more fine-grained way where people are? So to the extent that those are helpful to you, take those under advisement. Great presentation and really interesting tool that I think will appeal to a lot of people, and especially young people.